Hello and welcome to the weekend edition of Niger Delta Today. This is Across the Niger Delta. On the program, we'll delve into the rich cultural heritage, pressing issues and other developments in the heart of the Niger Delta. Do stay with us as we explore and highlight developmental issues in the rich oil city of the Niger Delta, bringing you closer to the pulse of the region. I am Aweru Swogene Ebo.
On today's edition, federal government confirms compliance with environmental regulations on Lagos Calabar Coastal Project. Akwa Ibom State Assembly urges local government workers to support council projects. Cross River government to increase cultural activities through community-led festivals. In sports, Ishmael Sadio, Patient Mavang to defend Okpekpe race titles amidst stiff competition. And on today's special feature, President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, flags off retreat of House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review in Ikot Ekpene.
We will begin the program by taking you through the major stories we had during the week. The first one is from the crew, where they met with the Managing Director, Nigerian Communications Satellite, NICOMSAT, Mrs. Jane Egerton, to discuss developmental plans of NICOMSAT, especially for the Niger Delta region and the country at large. We had Ama Marcos interact with her on this one.
Privilege of sitting with the Managing Director of NICOMSAT. She's none other than Mrs. Jane Nkechi Edison Idehen. Thank you so much for giving us time, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Alman. It's nice to be on your program.
Okay, so could you talk to us about the duties and responsibilities that NICOMSAT carries out?
NICOMSAT, as the name says, is Nigerian Communications Satellite Company. So we are the satellite communication company for the nation. So we provide satellite communication. There are different ways to communicate. There's terrestrial, which is fiber. There's mobile, which is the mobile operators. And there is also satellite. So we provide that service, and we are owned by the nation.
Okay. So what are the current challenges that you have, as a company operating in Nigeria?
I think the current challenges we have are not challenges that are new. Like for every other organization, operating in this terrain, you would have the standard challenges of making sure you have the right infrastructure, you can meet what your clients require or the client needs. But we have a further mandate, not just to do that, but to provide service even to the unreached, places that are underserved. So just beyond being a commercial venture, we're actually mandated by the president to actually deliver service to those areas.
So speaking of the challenges you just spoke about, what ways are you looking to combat these issues? Talking about reaching people in the rural areas now.
So there's several ways, but I think I will start by putting in context what we also do, the way that you can understand where it comes. So as part of our mandate from the president, if you look at the Renewed Hope agenda, a key part of the agenda is the digital economy. The only way to drive a digital economy, or an economy that is based on digital services or technology, is that you have technology. A key part of technology is infrastructure. That's where we come in. So we are an infrastructure provider. So just like you have fiber, which is what Galaxy does, NICOMSAT does satellite. A bigger subset of that mandate is to provide coverage. Now, our intention today, our nation sits with coverage of about 50% of the nation is covered in terms of broadband penetration. And we are trying to put that number to be at 70 in about 2027. And who are those that can do it? And as a government entity, and I'll explain, especially in underserved and unreached areas, because we do have commercial ventures doing that. It will be companies like NICOMSAT and GBB, which is Galaxy Backbone. Because to go to those unserved, unreached areas is beyond just a commercial mandate. You're doing it because they have to have access, irrespective of if it's commercially viable or not. So one of the things we are doing to achieve that, just back to your question, is to find ways we can provide services to those areas. One of the projects we embarked on February to do that, so driven by the Federal Ministry of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy, Dr. Boso Tijani, the Minister. We have put together sub-agencies to help create that access. So we have NICOMSAT, we have Galaxy Backbone, we have USPHEV, we have NITA, all working together to go to those rural areas. Now the first phase, or this part of the project, we are calling Project 774. Project 774 means we will provide access to all 774 local government secretariats in the country. We've already commenced. As I speak to you, we have done about 45, but you know there's 774. So this is a project that probably run for 2 years, but the goal is to provide that access. And when you provide the infrastructure, other things start to ride on it. People can have access to government services, especially the government e-services. You know, you want to get a passport, you know, register for your passport online. You want to get a driver's license, for example. Those digital services, you can access it. You don't have to travel miles to go to maybe the state head office or the state capital to do it. If you're in a local government, you can access it from your local government. So I think that one is to create more awareness, digital literacy, get people more trained to understand that we want to create a technology that is easy to use. We want people to pick up a phone or a device, and even though you didn't go to school and you're not literate, you just have to press the numbers, you can make a call, press the numbers, you can do your transfer, do 1, 2, 3 on the internet, even using pictures or voice automation, you can browse. So that digital awareness needs to be there.
Okay, so moving forward, what prospects are available for Nigerians who are using NICOMSAT?
Lots of prospects. Lots of prospects, because one of the things we are doing in revamping NICOMSAT is, one, ensuring that our service delivery is at par, because we want people to use the service and be proud, not to use it because it's just owned by the nation, to use it and be proud that the service quality is at par with whatever they are getting. Reliable infrastructure, we are upgrading. Beyond just monetizing our assets, we're really investing in making sure that our asset, our infrastructure is reliable. And of course, thirdly, we always say continuous technology. For us, technology evolves. We always have to evolve our par with technology. We don't, because we're Nigerians, should be left out. We should be at par with any of the global powers. We should have a technology that we can say that, you know, no matter where we are, we have the same technology as wherever people in the Western world, as you might call it. So making sure the technology is continuous and evolves is important to us. So those are some of the benefits. So not just being patriotic or not just cost, but in terms of the quality of the service.
Okay. Thank you very much, ma'am, for sitting with us today. But before we let you go, what's that one thing you have to say to Nigerians?
I'm really proud to be Nigerian. I know there's so many ways we feel challenged. I know there's so many things that happen, and we kind of feel like we're not getting the best, but in hindsight, we've done some feats we've accomplished that other countries can't. A good example is just the satellite we're talking about. There are 54 countries in Africa. How many of them have a satellite? How many in West Africa have? Technically, in West Africa, keep a satellite in space for 11 years.
That's not something a lot of Nigerians are aware of. But
we should be aware of that. We should be proud. I know it's so easy to see all the challenges, to see all the negatives, but sometimes we should acknowledge the positives. We should acknowledge the intent to move it forward. I think that's important, because some of these countries we so want to compare ourselves with, they've also done the work. They've gone through years to get to where they are. And if we're on the right track, that's what's important. We should get there.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sitting with us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Alma.
My name is Amma Marcus. The program continues to stay with us.
Thank you, Amma Marcus. Moving on to our next major story for the week, where it dwelt on cultural activities. We actually joined the celebration of the cultural diversity, yet unity of the Niger Delta people, as we join the international community in commemoration of World Day for Cultural Diversity. The day is usually celebrated on the 21st of May every year to promote cultural understanding and appreciation across the globe. In this report, our correspondent Simple Iwat gave us a light of what you need to see in the Niger Delta.
On this World Day for Cultural Diversity, we celebrate the uniqueness of the Niger Delta people. Cultural diversity is mostly interwoven in a way of life of the people, their religion, marriage rites, festivals, food, dressing, and even dance. The Niger Deltans are a group of diverse people with different tribes and traditions. But in the midst of this diversity are a unique people interwoven in every sense of the word. Aside from the story of marginalization and environmental degradation, lie a people with unique culture. Let's take you on a trip around the Niger Delta region to showcase its cultural diversity. The oldest example of cultural diversity in display can be seen at the Holy Arausa Cathedral, a unique church in Benin City, Edo State, where Christians, Muslims, and traditionalists worship together under the spiritual leadership of the Oba of Benin.
Jekiri man or a woman,
you will recognize him or her by the dress and accessories, like frequently worn red beads, bangles, anklets, raffia work, and other accessories. The Akwa Ibom people are known for their penchant for unique cuisines, especially the popular afang soup and ekpang kukwa. Celebrating this year's World Day for Cultural Diversity is very important, according to traditional fathers, as it gives us a sense of identity in the midst of a number of traditions and practices in the world.
The culture is unique in the sense that when you talk of the Ibibio, even Nigeria, if you don't include, that is culturally, if you fail to include it to culture, then you never start. Landscape, the beauty of the landscape, the festival, like in our festival, and Bok and so on. When we talk of masquerade, Ekpo and so on, we have much.
There were great men were coming, men and women, in Ekpo cultural play of other people. We're making more of social celebration. The women are there singing and applauding the men that are always bearing this masquerade. You know what we call it? We talk about Ekpo. Ekpo is the masquerade. So, that is just it. And we normally take it to a popular market like Uruerugu, and we call it Urura. During Urura, the popular market day, it's always fantastic. We have Ekpe society, more of social mobilization. There is nothing behind our Ekpe society. So, several cultural plays, like we have Mbok. Mbok is the local wrestling festival.
No year passes without the Kabo people of Delta and Bayelsa State celebrating their annual Kabowe Segbeng Cultural Festival that serves as a symbol of unity and cultural pride for all Kabowe communities. The festival serves as a cultural feast to unite and strengthen the unique identity of the Kabowe Kingdom.
So the Segbeng Cultural Festival seems to be the only force that we could use in still reviving that Ijaw traditions and culture in our people. And it's basically a cultural celebration. So it is the unifying force in the kingdom, whereby we celebrate who we are, we celebrate Ijaw, we celebrate our tradition, our culture, and our beliefs as a people. So it has actually been the only source to our origin. to still remember the fact that we are Cabo people, we are Ijaw people, notwithstanding our location.
Well, it's because of the way we have been marketing our culture. Over the years, we have made our culture to look fetish. We have made our culture to look not polished. So people dovetail into doing westernization. And what you see there is the culture of the whites. All right? We have our own dress sense. We have the way we behave. We have our own value system. But we have left it. And we are dovetailing into what the white men are doing. Unfortunately, that is their culture. That is the way they have been wired over time. As a person, you know, as an Ibibio man, me seeing me, you will know where I come from. It's like seeing an Hausa man on the road, you will know where he comes from. Because he wears his Babariga at all times. You know, or his Danchiki. He wears his Danchiki and wears his cap. That is the culture of the people. So they have lived over time, over the years. They have grown with it. They have made it part of them. Even they have internalized it into the younger ones. It's just that one of the cultures that is fast eroding is the names that we give to our children. People are not giving names that have cultural background anymore. You know, what happens to Amaitem? Those are the kind of names we give to our children. Whenever they travel anywhere in the world, people get to identify with them because of the name they bear. Fortunately, I have 5 children, and all my children, they have local names. So wherever they are in the world, they will be recognized by their names. So we need to look at all of this. Let's use today to celebrate our cultural values, to celebrate the cultural diversity. One of the things I appreciate Nigeria as a government, as a people, is the creation of NYSC, National Youth Service Corps. That scheme was made to celebrate cultural diversity. It was initiated to celebrate the uniqueness and oneness of Nigeria as a people. Perpetually at war against itself. We must not be seen in that manner. Whether you speak Obolo, I speak Ibibio, does not erase the fact that we are one, and it should be regarded as one. Whether you speak Hausa language or you speak Yoruba language, it should not be regarded as a different entity. We are one. One united Nigeria, one united people, one culture, diverse interests, fine. But at the end of the day, we come to the table and
dance in the Niger Delta is not only an expression of the feeling and aspirations of the people, but also it showcases the cultural values that are entrenched in that culture. From the harmonious coexistence at the Holy Arausa Cathedral to the mouth-watering flavors of Akwa Ibom state cuisines, from the joyous rhythms of Kaboway's Segbain Cultural Festival to the graceful moments of traditional dance. Every aspect of the Niger Delta culture tells a story of strength, unity, and pride. As we mark this World Day for Cultural Diversity, we can foster a world where disrespect and prejudice have no place, and where the beauty of cultural diversity is celebrated and cherished by all. Together, let us continue to honor and persevere the invaluable heritage of the Niger Delta, ensuring that its legacy thrives for generations to come. Happy International Cultural Diversity Day.
That was just a glimpse of what you're yet to see when you pay a visit to the region of the Niger Delta. Our cultural diversity, our heritage, music and cuisines are something you should look forward to, especially if you are a tourist. Let's move on to our next major story for the week, which is on boat making. Boat making in the Niger Delta is a traditional craft that has been practiced for centuries. The region, characterized by its intricate network of rivers, creeks and mangroves, relies heavily on water transportation. Skilled artisans in the Niger Delta use locally sourced materials, primarily different types of wood, to construct a variety of boats, ranging from small canoes to larger fishing vessels. The process often involves hand carving and intricate woodworking, passed down through generations, and boat makers are highly respected within their communities for their craftsmanship and the crucial role they play in facilitating water transportation, fishing, and trade. Let's have a look at the process, the joys, and its challenges.
Boat making is a job they are born into, a tradition they uphold all through their lives. It becomes an identity for them, and all over the region, they are recognized for their expertise in that craft. The workers here are mainly of the male gender, from the ages of 16 to 50, working with manual hand tools. But the practice is not one that comes easy to anyone who is interested. The profit margin, the capital necessary for the business, and the overall man-hours spent in making one boat can leave you reconsidering your interest in the craft. According to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, the average life expectancy of Nigerians as of 2022 is 55.2 years. And for these fishermen and the people living in coastal areas, the margin grows even slimmer, as their occupational hazards could be life-threatening. Therefore, it is necessary that the boats these dwellers use for their travel and business are of good standard in order to avert disasters.
I'm going to be speaking with people who make boats, people who sell fishes, people who live in this area. They're going to be telling us everything they do and what makes them unique in the Niger Delta region.
It is just a few hours past 10 a.m. Local people are going about their daily businesses at the shore. It is an idyllic setting, pleasant and peaceful. This is the Ishiet River Market in Uran local government area of Akwa Ibom State, a haven for the locals and a major protein market for seafood lovers. From prawns to croakers and big catfishes, the Ishiet Market is one of the major markets for pescatarians. As versatile as they are in the fish business, that is how versatile their craftsmanship is in boat making. This is Mr. Bassi. He's been a boat maker for the past 35 years of his life. And just like any other boat maker in this locality, the practice was passed down to him by his father, who made a living on the coast. This is a boat. It is used to catch fishes in the sea. Wood and nails, saw and hammer, as well as fire, are the materials used in making a boat. My father taught me this craft. He is late now, but this practice lives on in our region. Make one boat here. Joseph Eno and his friends are in the business of fetching these woods from the forest. They journey through the shoreline into dense forests to get these woods, which is commonly used for boat making as well as for roofing of houses. Their business also has an impact on their finances, as they have to rent the boat going to the forest, bracing up to incur any additional cost should anything happen to the boat while they are away.
Okay, the problem is that we go loan boat from here. We will get cutlass and we can use cutlass and axe. Then we go use the panel. I think we go paddle the boat to the oversea. Then we enter the bush. We saw them. We cut them into these pieces. When we brought that down, we brought it outside here. Then we sold to the buyers.
Dr. Adam's specialty is in fastening the woods together with a special nail set they call afiakok, which translates to mean white money. The name was given as this is the only material in the boat making process that is sourced artificially and plays a major role in making of a boat. His shade is made of thatch and wood. Just a little something to protect him from the rain and the scorching sun of the day when he does his work.
This is my workplace. I make boats for fishermen. I make this shelter to protect me from the sun and rain. The nails is usually 2 inches or 3, and they serve as fasteners for the wood. There is no alternative to this tool. This is the only material that can hold separate pieces of wood together. Plastic helps too, but this is better. Plastic serves as glue. The business makes money occasionally. Most days it's dry, other days it makes you good money.
After the fastening with nails and clamps, styrofoam plates and styrofoam materials are then burnt into liquid, and this liquid serves as glue for the woods used in making the boats. This is to prevent water from entering through the little holes the nail could not cover. These boats are much larger than the other boats, and it is the same process of making the smaller ones that is used in making these larger ones. These ones are used in the transportation of cargoes, mammal-sized fishes, baggage transportation, as well as human transportation. They have the capacity of carrying hundreds of people at a time, as well as loads. These people just arrived from the fish market in the neighboring village, and I needed to know how strong these boats are on the water. Ordinarily, paddles are used to move the boats on the water, but this boat had an engine fastened to its back, which propels the boat forward without much human energy.
So typically on a daily, these people use this as a means of transportation in this region to catch the fish, to travel, and of course just to enjoy life on the water. And my very first ride on the boat is coming to an end, and I can tell you it was quite an experience. I'm happy to be on shore at the moment. All right, so I'm going to be speaking with him, and he's going to tell me how he does his business every single day. Okay.
Riding this boat is no stress for me. Every day, through and through, I take them to get fish at the next market, Aquapa. When they return, they pay me, and that will be all. Each day, I get 3,000 naira from them, and I make 15,000 from this weekly. I do this work all day of the week, except Sundays. I go just once daily, just so that I can rest till tomorrow. Whoever wishes to go again would have to go on special hire, and I charge differently on that. Other than that, I am done for the day. I maintain the boat daily by cleaning inside the boat, and I also watch the algae at the bottom of the boat till it's dried up, so when the women come to use it tomorrow, it won't be slippery.
As the sun sets over the Niger Delta, it casts a golden glow on a tradition that has stood the test of time. The art of boat making here is more than just a craft. It is a legacy passed down through generations, a testament to the ingenuity and resilience of the communities that call this unique region home. As we leave the waters of the Ishiet market, we carry with us a profound appreciation for the boat makers who shape these vessels and in turn their community's economy. Their enduring spirit is a beacon of cultural pride, a reminder that even in a rapidly changing world, some traditions are far too precious to be lost. Simple Iwat, reporting for...
That was really an intriguing one, and thank you, Simple Iwat, for that insightful session. And those are some of the major stories we had during the week. Moving on to latest developments in the Niger Delta region, the federal government has announced that the Environmental and Social Impact Assessment (ESIA) report for the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Road project will be released to the public in the next 3 months. Minister of Works, Senator David Umahi, who made this known, also stated that President Bola Tinubu will officially flag off the project on Sunday, May 26th. Director at the Federal Ministry of Environment, Abbas Suleiman, at the third stakeholders meeting for the Coastal Highway project in Lagos, confirmed that the government had complied with necessary environmental regulations, that the ESIA report was ready. The revelation addresses concerns about the lack of transparency regarding the project's environmental impact. He explained that the environment had been studied extensively with sufficient data on the project. He also stated that Section 15B of the Freedom of Information Act allows the federal government to withhold information based on environmental testing. He, however, alerted that the compelled ESIA will be available on its website within the next 2 or 3 months. In the meantime, Minister David Umahi detailed significant adjustments to the project's routes to address stakeholder concerns, with the most notable change involving reverting to the gazetted alignment between kilometers 16 and 25 of the 47-kilometer highway. The decision followed extensive consultations with affected parties, including telecommunication companies, to avoid disrupting submarine communication cables critical for national security and internet connectivity. He said they had 3 critical infrastructures located on the spot: the 2 Africa submarine cable, the West African Cable Systems, WACS, the mobile landing site. And he said disrupting these cables would have severe consequences, as seen in the recent incident that caused internet outages across several African countries. He added that the decision to revert to the old alignment will result in the demolition of 750 houses compared to 490 under the new plan, describing the choice as a tough but necessary one. Meanwhile, residents of Okunaja community have expressed relief and gratitude for the government's responsive approach, praising the Tinubu administration for preserving their ancestral homes and heritage. The federal government also announced the immediate commencement of construction of sections 3 and 4 of the highway, starting from Calabar and Akwa Ibom respectively. And this aligns with President Tinubu's directive to ensure balanced development across different regions of the projects. Into Akwa Ibom State, the Akwa Ibom State House of Assembly Committee on Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs has asked council workers to support projects initiated by current executives. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Umfon Ndong, disclosed this during a local government tour to various councils. Correspondent David Isang completes the report.
Receive an appraisal of transition executives. Chairman of ONA, Honorable Inyabasi Kanem, said his administration has done credibly, including free medical services in the local government.
Free medical, to key into our rise agenda of the governor. We sponsored that, and we have 1,300 outpatients, and the doctors did 29 major surgical operations. We can't do without food. Coupled with that, we are supporting food sufficiency in Akwa Ibom State. We have 21 hectares cassava farm close to Akbabi Ropa Stadium. If you see the picture, you will see the farm 21. In fact, the cassava will soon harvest them.
The team journeyed to Ibono local government area, where the transition chairman, Honorable Emai Bok, said his administration in the last 6 months has engaged in rural road grading and improvement of security for the community.
Immediately I came into Ibono local government council, the entrance road that you pass through, it was somehow my house member can witness it, because he knows that whenever I come to this rainy season, it's waterlogged and the whole place, they use all this our sand, filling sand. The thing was not good.
Was the next point of call, as members were amazed by the legislative chambers for local government councillors, which was constructed by the transition executives led by the chairman, Honorable Inyobong Robinson.
We've done our possible best in this local government to ensure that no aspect of governance suffers total abandonment. That is exactly what we have done. Other than infrastructural development, we have taken as a priority the welfare, well-being of our people.
The last destination for the day was Eket's local government area, where the transition chairman, Honorable Akaniene Tommy, said his administration has constructed a multipurpose hall and also provided materials to establish a starch processing plant to engender food security.
It's all over social media. You can verify from the people of Eked. The Unity Hall project I'm talking about is about 3,000 seater capacity Unity Hall. Today, as we speak, is about 85% completion. Work is still ongoing, and by the special grace of God, we intend to hand over that project to the people of Eked by early July 2024.
As the conclusion of local government tour draws near, citizens are hopeful that the executives will sit up to more responsibilities for the good of all. David Isong.
Thank you very much, David Isong. And moving to Cross River State, the Cross River State government has announced that plans are ongoing to expand cultural activities with various new yam festivals organized by communities in the state. State Commissioner for Tourism, Mr. Abubakar Robert Ewa, revealed this during a meeting with the Central Committee of the 2024 Ukele New Yam Festival in his office. Mr. Ewa noted that the visit by the committee was timely as the ministry is currently planning its calendar for the year. He added that the state governor, Senator Prince Basi Otu, is passionate about the culture, customs and heritage of the people, maintaining that the ministry is working in alignment with his vision to expand its cultural activities. He also stated that the Umbune New Yam Festival and Bakassi Festival were added to the calendar last year following visits to those events, and he promised to attend the Ukele New Yam Festival for first-hand experience. Earlier, the alternate chairman of the 2024 Ukele New Yam Festival, Ms. Beatrice Apala, stated that the visit aimed to inform the commissioner about the festival's events. Celebrated every year on September 16th with great fanfare and elegance by the Ukele communities, the festival features a variety of cultural activities with a desire to include it in the state's tourism calendar. All communities in Ukele are agrarian, and each year the farmers cultivate large farms and harvest abundant yams. Extending a special invitation to the Tourism Commissioner as a special guest of honor, Ms. Apala said it would be nice for him to observe and evaluate the festival for potential inclusion in the state's tourism calendar. And moving on to Delta State, the Delta State government has distributed over 500 million naira to more than 5,000 Deltans to support their businesses. Governor of the state, Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, presented the checks to the beneficiaries during the launch of the More Grant scheme in Asaba, emphasizing that the initiative is designed to empower 5,426 Deltans comprehensively. Governor Oborewori also highlighted that the beneficiaries included 1,600 petty traders, 1,826 artisans, and 2,000 female entrepreneurs across the state, each receiving between 100,000 and 150,000 naira. He explained that their hard work, creativity, and perseverance drive the vibrancy and resilience of the state's local communities. He said, recognizing their invaluable contributions, he reaffirmed the state government's commitment to supporting their endeavors. Also from Delta State, the Delta State government has said the contractor handling the rehabilitation of the Warri Township Stadium has been unable to deliver, thereby leading to termination of the contracts. However, the Delta State government has approved an upward revision of contract values for some ongoing projects across the state due to the rising cost of construction materials. Commissioner for Information in the state, Dr. Ifeanyi Uswaza, announced these decisions while briefing newsmen on the outcome of the State Executive Council ESCO meeting presided over by Governor Sheriff Oborewori. He said that the ESCO approved the payment of retirement and death benefits to verified staff of Delta State University Delsu Abraka and an amendment of the state's road traffic regulations. Dr. Uswaza further disclosed that the state ESCO approved the review of interest rates on Naira credit facilities for contractors' guarantee and direct facilities. In addition, the appointment of His Royal Majesty Kingsley Imwakbo Orere as the Ovio of Agbara Warri Kingdom in Warri South Local Government Area was also approved. And now to the world of sports. Sporting activities in the region has had Ishmael Sajo and Patience Mawwan set to defend their titles at the Okpekpe International 10-kilometer race as the competition kicks off today. Sajo, who won last year with a time of 31 minutes 53 seconds, faces strong competition from Francis James and Gang James Boyi, who have both clocked sub-31-minute times. Mawwan, who achieved a personal best of 34 minutes 43 seconds in Lagos, aims to break the 34-minute mark. Meanwhile, the absence of multiple winner Deborah Pam due to maternity leave opens the field for new contenders like David Abiye. Coach Stephen Nuhu is optimistic about the Niger Delta athletes achieving international recognition soon, praising the race organizers for their support. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll bring you our special feature for today. Don't go away.
Ready for some exciting news? ADBN just launched its very own WhatsApp channel. Join our community for exclusive updates straight to your phones. Here's how. Open your WhatsApp and go to the Updates tab. Tap the plus icon and select Find Channel. Search for ADBN TV and hit follow. Don't forget to turn on notifications for the latest updates. Your support means the world to us, because at Advocate Broadcasting Network, we're not just a media outlet, we're a part of you.
You're welcome back to the special feature segment of Across the Niger Delta. On today's special feature, the President of the 10th Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has declared open the retreat of the House of Representatives Committee on the 1999 Constitution Review in Ikot-Ekpene, Akwa Ibom State. The event had in attendance Constitution Review Committee members, the Senate President and their servitors, as well as foreign delegates in the entourage of the Presidents of the Senate. Our Niger Delta correspondent, Sipul Iwat, was on ground and filed in this report.
The President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, has kicked off the retreat of the House of Representatives Committee on review of the 1999 Constitution in Akwa Ibom State. The two-day retreat, which is taking place at the 4 Points by Sheraton Hotels in Ikot-Ekpene, was attended by the Constitutional Review Committee members of the House, alongside distinguished senators and foreign delegates who accompanied the Senate President in his entourage. Taking the stage, the President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, saluted the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, for honoring his word and bringing the members of the Nigerian Parliament to the Rafia city, his own hometown. He also harped on the necessity to work synergistically, one with the other, as a cohesive National Assembly on whose wings Nigeria can fly.
We are here to design frameworks for segmentation and prioritization of our activities and to review the templates of all the bills we have received so far for alteration or consideration by the two chambers. My brothers, the task before us is not easy. I want to urge you to learn from history and forge a new path that ensures that the voices of all Nigerians are heard and considered. You should not lose sight of the fact that the review of the Constitution is a monumental undertaking that requires dedication, requires commitment, and a deep sense of responsibility. You must therefore approach this task with an open mind, with a willingness to listen and learn from one another. You must be guided by the principles of justice, fairness, and equity. And you must always keep the best interest of our great nation at heart. Additionally, stakeholder engagement is paramount in our pursuit of a stronger and more progressive constitution. During this retreat, I urge you to develop strategies and methodologies to ensure that all relevant stakeholders are actively involved in this process. Their input and insights will be invaluable as you design the framework for segmentation and prioritization of your committee's activities. I believe that at the end of the day, the Senate and the House of Representatives will create a blueprint that guides us towards a more united and prosperous Nigeria. This journey has
has just begun. Our country needs. Let us rise up to this duty and answer our country's call, particularly at a time when we have a vice president as a legislator, and a president as a legislator, and even the wife of the president as a legislator. This is the right time for us to shape the future of our country through legislation. In closing, I want to extend my deepest gratitude to Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker and Chairman of the House of Representatives Committee on Constitution Review, for his leadership and tireless commitment to this cause. I pay tribute to all the members of this committee for your perseverance and even for your sacrifice to be here in person. I am honored to have been invited to just give you this goodwill message during this ceremony. Your commitment to this important cause is truly commendable, and I have no doubt in my mind that together we will achieve great things for our country and posterity.
The Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, praised the Senate President for the developmental strides visible in Akwa Ibom, noting that his records are unmatched on this side of the Niger.
We're happy to be here. We promised you during the time we had the joint leadership engagement there that the edifice you put together, many people here are not aware that the man who just walked in here was the man who built this edifice. The very first will be done here because we take our word seriously. Our promise to him, we have fulfilled it by coming to Ikot. And I want to assure the President of the Senate that the hospitality has been warm. And everyone here has no regrets for coming to Ikot, and that is what matters. Before you came President of the Senate, we had the opening ceremony, which the governor attended, represented by the Deputy Governor, who was one of us. And we had a good time with her, and we were impressed that the governor is keen into the objectives of this committee with regards to constitutional amendment.
Meanwhile, earlier before his visit to the House members at the Ikot, the Senate President took a surprise tour at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium to show his foreign guests the quality of development Akwa Ibom is known for. The President of the Senate also took his senators and foreign delegates to ADBN Uyo Radio and Television Studios. On air, the Senate President spoke on the synergy between the Senate chambers and the House of Representatives in birthing the renewed Nigeria promised by the President.
Are happening. This Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria under us is actually the Senate that is people-centered. Almost all the policies that we do there, the motions, the bills are all people-centered. We believe that yes, indeed, we can also assist to change Nigeria through legislation. And not just legislation, we believe we can partner with the people of Nigeria and the executive arm of the government, including the judiciary, to turn around the fortunes of the country. So we are rejigging the laws. We are also trying to cross the T's and dot the I's to make sure that we have the legislation that can ensure that democracy flourishes in our dear country. So far so good, and you recall when there was an attempt to do electricity hike in prices, the Senate intervened, and we've also had a couple of laws that were passed, one of which is very passionate to me, and that is the Students' Loans Act. The President signed the bill into an act of parliament, now giving an opportunity to the vulnerables in our society, the less privileged, to have the opportunity of getting loan to obtain tertiary education. I've always said that when you open the door of schools, you have closed the door of prisons. So, to be honest with you, this was not there in our time when we were growing up. So Nigerian children have no excuse now. They are now going to be able to get education through the assistance of government. And the beauty of that act is the fact that even when you finish your education, if within the first 5 years you are not able to get a job, so repayment will be impossible for you. So government can write it up for you until you are able to get a job. And once you get a job, then you can start the deduction and pay. So you will be like a revolving scheme for others to also take part in. This is novelty in reality. It is totally uncommon, and this can only happen under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who knows that yes, indeed, you need to carry the people along, and he had promised that the people will be the centerpiece of his administration.
Other senators spoke kindly of the Senate President, describing the past 1 year under his leadership as transformative and visionary.
This Senate has set records of development, records of passion, of commitment to fatherland. And this is because of the leadership, under the leadership of the Senate President. I have come to know and love him since December 2010 and January 2011, in the direction of his person. Excellence, commitment, passion. And Akwa Ibom State, you are so blessed. I will not say you are lucky because it's understatement. You are blessed by God to have him. And Nigeria is thankful to Akwa Ibom State for producing him. He has led this Senate as a father, as a leader, carrying everybody along. And that's why my colleague just told you the achievements, because he's such a very, very uncommon leader indeed. So thank you for giving God's will about Akwa Ibom to Nigeria. And we can assure you that we are solidly, road solid behind him, because Nigeria needs him.
I met Senator President in Angola, in Rwanda. It's very nice when we say that all countries are equal and should be treated equal. Yeah, as a people, this statement is correct. But in terms of experience, capacity, human resources, and the presence in the world, as Africans, we'll lose nothing getting close to a reference country like Nigeria.
With this relationship, Nigerians can look forward to a Nigeria of their dreams, where legislation would play a crucial role in birthing the renewed Nigeria promised by the president. Simply what? Reporting for Across the Niger Delta.
Thank you very much, Simple Iwat, and we do pray, as he has said, that we're lucky to have him in Akwa Ibom State or to have come from Akwa Ibom. We do pray that God will continue to strengthen him to bring home the dividends of democracy. And with that, we've come to the end of this edition of Across the Niger Delta. We do hope you join us same time tomorrow for another edition. Till we come your way again, I am Averu Swogene Ebo. Bye for now.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
If you are not a judge, you are not a judge.
Make we talk good. where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first face.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop.
Are you a young adult with a passion for storytelling and content creation? Do you reside in the Niger Delta and desire to become a filmmaker or content creator?
Then you should register for the ADBN Smartphone Film Workshop, an exciting opportunity brought to you by ADBN TV. Embark on a journey to unlock your creative potential by learning the art of filmmaking, sound design, and lighting using your smartphone. This is your chance to turn your ideas into reality. So hurry now and register via our website at www.adbntv.com. But wait, that's not all. Your creations will be aired on ADBN TV, channel 258 on DSTV, 140 on StarTimes, Avo TV app, Limex World TV app, and Niger TV app, reaching audiences far and wide. And guess what? 3 lucky winners will be selected for the grand cash prize of 5